on top of your teams in news, stats, and wins, this is SIBN Sports.
What's up, y'all? This is your girl, Clara V on SIBN Sports. We are so glad to be back with you again this week. And you know him. He is the co-host here with me. He's sitting over here grinning and shaking his head. What is going on? What is your name?
Wait, where is he? Over here? Over there? That's Coach. Who are you? Who am I?
No, I'm talking about you. Matthew
Bugs.
What? What is it?
Matthew Bugs. B-U-G-G-S. Not Bugs like Bugs Bunny, but B-U-G-G-S.
Oh, you better clear it up because we don't want nobody calling you Bugs like Bugs Bunny.
I wish they would. Hey, I love Bugs Bunny.
You love Bugs Bunny?
I'd like to be like him, but I can't. You know, it's just impossible. The physics of the cartoon and the physics of reality just don't mix for some reason.
The physicality of it all doesn't work together.
Just for some reason.
What's up, y'all? As you can tell, we're excited again. We always love coming at you every week with all the exciting news that is going on in sports. We are excited, boy. There's a lot going on. You got the draft. You got the NBA playoffs going on. It is so much to talk about, and we're going to get started. Listen, I want to talk about a feel-good story that happened this week. Little young man who's 7 years old. He's suffering from brain cancer. And the University of, he's a fan of the University of Nebraska. So they allowed him to come onto the field and put on a little uniform. And he went out onto the field, and they let him run a 69-yard touchdown. That is such a feel-good story. The little kid is suffering from cancer. They wanted to do something great for him. They were appreciative of the fact that he was a fan. And I'm telling you, it was the highlight of his day when he scored the touchdown. They actually went and picked him up and put him on their shoulders like, you know, the congratulations thing.
That is a good thing for the kid. Because, I mean, you want to remember, you know, You want a memory that can last with you forever. That's definitely one that if I was his age, I would not forget it.
He'll never, ever forget it. And, you know, it's just a feel-good story to see a kid so young suffering with brain cancer. You know, he's only 7. You know, I couldn't be his parents at this point. It has to be a very difficult moment for them. You know, but it's such a great feel-good story, and actually went online and went viral. Everybody's watching. People love feel-good stories. You know what I'm saying? And then right behind the feel-good story, you hear a story like this. Virginia Tech running back Michael Holmes was arrested last week on 2 counts of simple assault and 1 count of malicious wounding, which is a felony.
Malicious.
Right. So I'm sitting here.
Bloody.
Malicious sounds bad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at malicious wounding, and they did not give the specifics as to what he actually did. But it has to be pretty bad.
Well, to make, like you said, it probably is bad enough to where they can't release it. You never know.
I was thinking you tried to run somebody over or something, you know?
Well, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Vehicular, close to vehicular
but that would be
homicide.
different, though. You would have a vehicle involved, Tom.
Yeah, it would probably be vehicular homicide now.
But he didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, he didn't kill him.
He just wounded him pretty bad.
Probably threw battery acid on him.
And if it was a gun or something, they would have said, you know, weapons charge.
Weapons charge, definitely.
This is weird. Malicious wounding.
Like I said, it's probably that bad they didn't want to release it. I'd like to find out, but it's probably none of our business.
Well, they didn't release all the details, and it's actually a lot of our business, and we're going to find out what happened.
Well, yes, for us, because we're story people. But the police probably said, for those fools down at SIBN, we'll say malicious wounding so they don't know what we're talking about.
You off the chain. So the policy of the school is if any athlete is charged with a felony, he is suspended automatically by the rector of athletes from practice and playing privileges until charges are either dropped, dismissed, or otherwise resolved.
Now, who knows how long that could be?
Exactly. And if he is convicted, he will be dismissed from the team. And the worst part about the story, it was after his freshman year, so he was also in the running to become the lead starting running back for the team.
And guys, let me tell you this.
I mean, what happens? We talk about this all the time.
I've seen this one too many times. I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, as we talk about this kind of stuff every week. If you are the type of athlete that your motivation is sports, don't blow it on something stupid. Okay, I don't like the word stupid. Don't blow it on something crazy. Don't blow it on something dumb.
Yeah.
You have the talent. Use it. I wish I had the chance to play college football. Well, really college basketball. I really wish I had the chance to play any college sport.
Right.
But I would never throw that away for something just completely bad.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say it.
I mean, it's just like the young man who, with the situation we talked about a few weeks ago with the young lady that cried rape. Actually, the video came out of them having sex with her, and she was completely intoxicated. You knew she was drugged or something. She was out of her mind. What do they think, you know? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to get away with doing something just because you're an athlete? Do you think you can? And I don't know if people get to a point where they feel like they're untouchable, or if their heads get too big, or nobody's telling them, they're not being mentored. You got me? Because I just don't understand, like you said, throwing it all away in a split moment, making a bad decision.
You never know what can go where. So, I mean, just to avoid it all in the long run, you just don't do it.
You don't do it, right. And you surround yourself with those people that are going to be positive influences in your life. And so the reason, y'all, we have these conversations on SIBN, because we always want to consider those young people that are up and coming, that want to go into sports. We want you to understand you can't just do whatever you want to. If you want a future or you want success, you're going to have to do things that make you successful, not things that can take you backwards, correct?
Correct.
And that's why we're always talking about it. So I wanted to bring that story to light just to give you young people a thought about making right decisions all the time and what one wrong decision could do to your life.
Hey, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, in any situation.
In any situation.
Right.
You take a detour from, where you want to go, guys. You may never get back on the road that you want to be on. So just stick the same path. Right.
That's just so true. I mean, and thank you for having that conversation with Matt, because, I just get so excited about having that conversation because I have a 14-year-old at home. You know what I'm saying? And I know he aspires to things in his future, in his life. And you're always reminding him every decision matters. Every choice you make matters. There are circumstances, or the word I meant to say were consequences for your decisions.
Consequences and repercussions.
You better believe it. So that's not a good story, but we will keep our eyes and ears on this story to see what happens with the running back Michael Holmes out of Virginia Tech. It's not a good story, but we like to report those stories just because we want to help somebody along the way. Now, along with that story is another story that just has me completely blown away. A sports announcer, and y'all know him very well, NBC Sports NFL play-by-play announcer, Mr. Al Michaels of NBC, arrested for DUI.
This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about right here. You guys know how many of you do you know how many of you out there know how much I aspire to be a sports broadcaster, to be a play-by-play announcer, and people go and do freaking things like this. You know what? It's guys like that that give us a bad name. That ticks me off, and I definitely won't stand for it. So you know what? I'm going silent for a couple seconds.
While Matthew goes silent, I'll keep talking. So check this out. They said that what happened was, Matthew, which is kind of weird, he's in a business district in Santa Monica, California, and he makes a U-turn. Well, at the same time he's making a U-turn, there's 2 motor cops sitting at the gas station, and they see him do it, and they go after him immediately and find out that he's been drinking. So he was pulled over for making a wrong U-turn. So when your judgment is clouded, you make a U-turn in the wrong place when there's 2 cops sitting there. You know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't even thinking about it. But, that's another case of people thinking they can get away with stuff, though. That's serious stuff, People don't take that serious. He was booked and released 6 to 8 hours later. He was a .08 or more. Matthew's still silent, y'all. He's a little mad about this one.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
I know. It's just a crazy story. I had to report it because I'm just like, Al Michaels?
She knew it was going to make me mad. That's why she did it.
I'm like, Al Michaels, what is wrong with you? Like, seriously, that's like the little young announcer the other day started on the job, and before they started recording, he was cussing. He didn't realize that the mic was on. He was cussing. He lost his job the same day. But anyway, NBC Sports said that they have had a talk with him and they have no more comments at this time. That says to me, innocent until proven guilty. Is that what that says to you?
Probably so.
We have no more comments at this time. So we'll see what happens with Al Michaels.
No more strangles.
It's, you know, you never get excited about a story like that where somebody's career could possibly be on the line. But, you know, you have to remember you are a role model to so many people, especially in that position. And you can't just be going around doing, you know, why don't you get a cab? Why don't you call a driver? You got plenty of money. Right, Matthew?
It's the kind of, like you said, even people like myself look up to a job that I want one day.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I feel like I'm the only sane person in the world. Besides Clara, I feel like I'm the only sane person in the world sometimes.
Y'all, Matthew's a little hot about that one. Didn't mean to get you that hot and bothered, but you know, it's just stories like that just make you go, right? Listen, I got a great story about tennis right now. Miss Venus Williams wins to put the U.S. in the 2014 Fed Cup. She had not played in the Fed Cup since 2007.
God.
I know, that's 6 years ago. So heads up to her for being a part of that. We're going to be watching Venus to see what happens, how long she'll last, see if she's got the stamina, you know, to make it to the end. So kudos to Venus Williams. And also in Monte Carlo Masters, won by Novak Djokovic. I know I didn't say his name right, but his name is Novak Djokovic.
He's saying that you're butchering his name.
I saw him. I studied him. And he won over Rafael Nadal, who had won the last 8 titles at Monte Carlo Masters.
Really?
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
Guess what he said?
What did he say?
He said, thanks, Rafael, for letting me win one. That's pretty interesting, though. 8 times he had won. Nadal is a great player, though. Rafael Nadal is a this is tennis, honey. Tennis, sweetie. OMG. That's why you're over there on the boards. Let us handle it. Yeah, you butchered that one. You definitely did. Now, y'all know I'm a golf fanatic. Y'all know I got to talk about my golf before we go to break. Check this out. Tiger Woods, after the Masters, is going to sit out 3 weeks. So that means he will not appear in the Wells Fargo Championship in Charlotte.
Why?
And that's what everybody wants to know, why. And they came back and they said he always takes 3 weeks off after the Masters. It's like, this is not new. This is what Tiger does. Why y'all making a big deal about it?
So he's not going to take a swing for like 3 weeks, or he's just not participating in
He's not participating for 3 weeks. He's taking 3 weeks off. So there's a championship coming up in Charlotte, and he's not going to play at Wells Fargo Championship.
Sometimes it makes me wish I was a professional golfer. I'd see what taking days off feels like.
You know, when he's a producer, right. When you got a producer over there that's having fun while we're trying to do sports with all of his sound effects. We're going to take a break real quick, y'all. Before we go to break, let's tell you this. Coming up, we got some great stories to talk about. And one of them, so excited. I don't know about you, Matthew, but I'm excited about the NFL draft.
Oh, the draft is tonight, isn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, it is tonight.
Yeah, it's this week, yeah. So, get ready. We got this little inside thing, y'all. Matthew broke the rules. He's still on that high from the Al Michaels story. But check this out. When we come back, we're going to get into this draft thing, and I'm going to tell you about the person who was the number 1 pick in 1945. The first number 1 first draft pick.
Dang.
Still alive at 91 years old. Yeah, we're going to talk about him, y'all. We're coming right back at you. This is your girl, Clara Salette and Matthew Buggs here on SIBN Sports on SIBN Radio and Television.
Listening to SIBN Radio. We'll be right back in a moment. Now is the time to have your business online with the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. That's right, SIBN or Select USA TV will produce your video on the spot. Picture business videos, on location streaming videos, or on location production videos. Dial 678-830-3118 or call the office at 404-910-5019 Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now is the time to have your business online with SIBN. The Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network now offers picture videos, on-location streaming videos, and on-location production videos for your event cause, brand, or mission. Call today, 678-830-3118 or 404-910-5019. Attention all artists of all genres. Now you can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, airing now on SIBN Radio. That's right, all artists now, all genres, wholesome and positive please, can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase. Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, now airing on SIBN Radio. For more information, dial 404-910-5019. That's 404-910-5019. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. Or email us at globalcoverage@selectusatv.info.
Are you a spoken word artist?
Now is your time to be featured online. Tier 1 Promotions on the CATL show is looking for spoken word artists to be featured
on regular rotation.
If you are a spoken word artist, now is your time to be promoted on Tier 1 Promotions with the CATL show. For more information, dial 404-910-5019. That's 404-910-5019. Or email us your bio and your links to work online. Global coverage at selectusatv.info. Global coverage at selectusatv.info. Calling all spoken word artists nationwide. Nationwide call for all spoken word artists. Nationwide. A nationwide call for all spoken word artists. This has been your CATL Gas Global Artist Showcase promotion.
All submissions must be wholesome and positive, please. Suitable for SIBN television and radio networks.
Yo. We're back. This your girl, Clara V.
Goodness gracious.
And Matthew.
It was gone for like 20 minutes.
Check this out. You know, we gotta have a commercial time. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so check this out. I told y'all we were going to talk about the draft coming up. So check this out. A lot of exciting stuff going on in the draft. I'm excited because I'm telling you, I think that a lot of people are just going to be like really in awe of what's going on with the draft and who gets picked and who goes where and who does what. The strategic moves. Atlanta has 11 picks overall. And their first pick is number 30. And people are wondering if Atlanta is going to make some strategic moves, which they've done in times past. So, what do you think about that? You got something?
Well, everybody knows because we said this at the same time last week, ironically. Defense. Right. Delta Echo, Foxtrot, Echo November, Sierra Echo. Defense,
right.
So,
and defense is going pretty high in the pick. We're going to go over that in a second. But I want to talk about the oldest living person right now that was a part of the first drafts. He's the oldest living, number 1 pick in 1945. He didn't join the league right away, but he left an indelible mark. His name is Charlie Trippy. Let's see. He was selected He's actually 91 years old right now. And a long-time Pro Football Hall of Fame member. He was excited when his phone rang on April 8, 1945, and Chicago Cardinals owner Charles Bidwell was on the other end of the line. Bidwell had told Triplett on several occasions that he planned on drafting the University of Georgia halfback, who became a national sensation after the 1943 Rose Bowl. He's still alive after all these years. First pick in 1945. And you know, he actually played baseball and football.
Still a good combination.
And then, you know, World War II came, and so he had to put all that on hold to serve in the war. You know, the stories that some people have, you know. But you know what's funny? Even after all this, when you look back, he said, I had a family. See, he was 22 years old. So he already had married and had children.
He probably knew he was going to the league.
And you know what he said? He said, I had a clause in there. If I got hurt, I'd get paid for the duration of the contract.
Oh, God.
He said, I had a family. I had to feed them. Even back then, they was fighting. And then the first #1 pick for the NFL draft was J. Bern Wanger back in 1936. He was a halfback from the University of Chicago. He was actually selected by the Philadelphia Eagles, traded to the Chicago Bears, and he turned them down for $15,000 a year.
Oh,
he wanted $15,000 a year. They only wanted to give him $13,500. So guess what he did?
He turned it down.
He never played in the NFL. He went and got a job at a rubber company.
Hey, to each their own. Did he make more money at the rubber company? I wonder.
I mean, he had to have. What did that tell you? I mean, if you have an opportunity to play sports, back then, I'm sure it was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah. Well, the money back then.
But the top money that they were offering him as a $1 pick was $13,500 for the year. Seems like to me back then that would have been a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he wanted $15,000. So for $1,500, he walked away from the contract.
That kind of money was hard to come by back then, especially look at the era, you know.
But he went to work for a rubber company, and like you said, did he make more money?
Who knows? Because look at the time. What did you said 1936, correct? Yeah. You got to remember that America was still working its ways out of the era of the Great Depression. So whatever he turned down, I hope it works out for him wherever this fella is now. You know, God bless you, man. But, you know, hey.
I know. It's crazy.
Times are.
Hey, but you know, you think about it. These guys were looking after their families, man. He was like, they going to pay me for the rest of my contract if I get injured. Nowadays, contracts don't go like that. You get injured, they pay you for the season, but there's no guarantee on the contract unless you get paid up front. Unless you have those contracts where they pay you all up front because they're trying to hold money for, you know, at the end when they have to pay certain people in the salary cap and all that. That's the only way. You don't just get paid for the rest of your contract if you get injured. Mm-hmm. You got me? So I'm sure over the years, the owners and stuff have gotten, you know, better with the negotiating these contracts, and there's no way you're going to get a contract where you get paid all the money. But even back then, they were strategic in their decisions. But that's pretty interesting. He's still alive. Like I said, he is 91 years old. It's a great story. Love hearing that. You like that?
That is interesting.
So let's talk about the draft. There's the top 5 picks that they're looking at for the defense. Elite D linemen won't last, they said.
Yeah, everybody's going to pick them all in the first round. That's what you were just
talking about, right?
You don't have a lot of quarterbacks and running backs and a lot of other skill players that are going in here.
You got Sheriff Floyd out of Florida. He's a defensive tackle. He is 6'3", 297 pounds. His 40 time is 4.92.
It's not bad for a D lineman.
That's pretty good for a D lineman, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you got Deion Jordan out of Oregon, defensive end. He is 6'6", 248 pounds. His 40 time is 4.6.
That's expected. He's taller.
He is taller. You got Story Lute. He's out of Utah, defensive tackle as well. He's 6'2", 311 pounds. Now look, when you look at I shouldn't be doing this, but when you look at the differences, he's 6'2", 311 pounds. His 40 time is 5.19. Big difference when you're a little shorter and weigh more. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have said that.
No, that's fine. But
I'm
football.
saying it's just so
football.
the variance is there. You can't ignore it. And then you got Ziggy Ashaw. He's out of Brigham Young. He's a defensive end as well. He's 6'5", 271 pounds. His 40 time is 4.63. And then Sheldon Richardson out of Missouri, defensive tackle, 6'2", 294. His 40 time is 5.02. Teams with the biggest need are the Oakland Raiders, the Detroit Lions, and the Denver Broncos.
True.
Why is Atlanta not on there?
Well, Atlanta's too far down the list. That means they want to try to grab anything.
Well, they won't be able to get none of the good ones at the top anyway.
Oh, hey, you never know. They could, like I said, Atlanta has 11 picks, so you never know who they could sneak in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. They do have quite a few, but like I was talking about the strategies of it all, and how if they go up top and do some maneuvering and stuff like that, then they'll have a better opportunity. Let's talk about the quarterback situation. First round, you're looking at Geno Smith out of West Virginia, which he has always been at the top of the list. Then you have Matt Barkley out of Southern California, who's also expected to go in the first round. That's it for quarterbacks in the first round.
Not a lot of people need them.
Except
for Jacksonville, maybe, but a lot of people need them. And if you want to know the truth, Atlanta does need a backup that can hold it down. I mean, Chris Redmond does a fine job, honestly, if you ask me. But there comes a time when you say, who is the legitimate key to maintaining the future of Atlanta here?
Well, that's it for the quarterbacks. Let's look at the running backs. There's no first-round running backs right now. I know. That's crazy. Second to third is going to be Levon Bell, Michigan State. You got Eddie Lacy from Alabama. He's going to be second to third round. And then you got Giovanni Bernard out of North Carolina, second to third round as well. That's it. That's crazy, isn't it? That lets you know who's important right now. Let's talk about the wide receivers. You got Cordarrelle Patterson out of Tennessee, first round. You got Keenan Allen out of California, first round. DeAndre Hopkins out of Clemson, first round. Tavon Austin out of West Virginia, first round. And then Marcus Wheaton out of Oregon State, first or second round. So you got a lot of wide receivers looking good to get a little nice contract. You know what I'm saying?
And catch a good few balls or two.
Tight ends. Let's talk about tight ends. You got Tyler Eifert out of Notre Dame and Zach Ertz out of Stanford, first round. That's it. Offensive tackles, first round. Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan.
He might end up going to Kansas City.
Who is expected to be picked up by Kansas City.
Yep.
Texas A&M. He's in the first round. You got Lane Johnson out of Oklahoma, first round. DJ Fluker out of Alabama, first round. Then you got the guard centers. You got Chance Warmack out of Alabama, first round. Jonathan Cooper out of North Carolina, first round. Not a lot. Defensive line. Let's talk about defense. Arbakivius Mingo out of LSU, first round. Ziggy Anash, BYU, first round. Bajon Warner of Florida State, first round. And you got Dayton Jones of UCLA, first round. Possible first or second round. Cornelius Carradine out of Florida State. And Alex Okafor out of Texas, first or second round. That's your defense. Defense are actually higher up than everybody else. Then you got the defensive tackles. You got Sheldon Richardson. I can't remember which team was looking at Sheldon Richardson. Sorry, I don't have that right here in front of me. Anyway, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys look at Sheldon Richardson out of Missouri, first round. Dallas need him. He's a defensive tackle.
Who doesn't Dallas need? Dallas
I'm just
needs
saying,
a lot of people.
Stop it. Sheriff Floyd out of Florida. You got Star Lutel out of Utah. And you got Sylvester Williams out of North Carolina, Jonathan Hankins out of Ohio State, Quan Short. You got a lot of defensive tackles looking to go in the first and second round, bro. Defense is at the top of this list. Inside linebackers, Manti Te'o out of Notre Dame, expected to go in the first and second round. Good for Manti.
Well, a lot of his draft ratings went down only because of the little hoaxy situation. But, I mean, that doesn't take it away from him being able to play football.
And then you got Alec Ogletree out of Georgia.
You better
go in first and second.
Better not be causing no trouble or nothing. He'll be good to go.
Come on, Alec Ogletree. Let's go. Kevin Minter of LSU. First and second round. Outside linebackers, you got Deion Jordan out of Oregon and Jarvis Jones out of Georgia. Georgia got a couple first round picks looking good for him.
Yeah, so now people can stop talking about my school.
They're going to stop it. You got cornerbacks, D. Milner out of Alabama. Xavier Rhodes out of Florida State. Desmond Trufant out of Washington. Jonathan Banks out of Mississippi State. And Darius Slay out of Mississippi State. Right there back to back. That's pretty interesting. Both of them from Mississippi State. And then the safeties. You got Kenny Vaccaro out of Texas. Eric Reed out of LSU. And Matty Lom out of Florida. What do you think about that?
It's a lot to chew on.
Yeah.
But, first things first, it's always got to remember, for the teams that I think could definitely have a big change. Kansas City, now that they've got Andy Reid, now that they've got Alex Smith.
Right.
They've picked up free agents Dunta Robinson and Sean Smith. That West Coast offense, there's a lot that can go down. But, you got to remember, for whoever gets who, to make the most impact, they have got to utilize the draft to the best of their efforts. So, even if they get somebody they don't want, if they're able to make a trade and grab who they need, it can definitely prove bothersome in the eyes of another team, because who knows, Kansas City may rise to glory this year for all we know.
Right, that's true. No, they definitely have a chance with the lineup, and Andy Reid is very strategic, and he's getting his team together.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're looking at the weak areas and they're filling them in.
Yeah,
this ain't going to be played with.
They have the first pick, people. If you don't remember, that's why I mentioned it.
Kansas City is at the top, baby.
And don't forget, guys, y'all need to be arguing with us. Y'all need to be making some comments. Let us know what you think about the draft. If you want to make any coverage on it or anything, hit us up at Facebook. SIBN Sports fan page, my Twitter.
Guess who's looking at Jarvis Jones out of Georgia?
Future Sports _44 and
Select USA TV.
Select USA TV, yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, boss.
New Orleans Saints, guess what? They're looking at Jarvis Jones out of Georgia.
I don't want them to get him.
I know.
Don't belong in no Saint land. Are you crazy?
Rival, man. Can you believe that?
You do it and I will disown you.
Okay, so check this out. This is an interesting story. Deron Carter. He is the son of Chris Carter, who played football back in the day. And he didn't do well in college. And his dad said he bleeping hates school.
Bleeping?
He just bleeping hates school.
So what did he do it for?
So, you know what that means, right? He became ineligible because he wasn't doing well in his grades. Okay? So he wants to play pro football, but he's not doing well in his grades. Well, he goes to the community college, Coffeyville Community College in Kansas, where several great players came from, and he played well there, but the coach is talking about him like a dog. He said, the team that drafts Deron Carter will get the most lazy, whiny, and non-work ethic player the NFL has ever seen. This is what he tweeted. What do you think about that? This kid is trying to get picked for the NFL.
They didn't have to go that far.
He played well enough to be picked. They're looking at him. They've gotten great players, from what I understand, from this school before, because this is a school for those players that are good, but they just don't do well in college. You know what I'm saying? So, at the big leagues, he couldn't do well. He actually went to his, let me see, what was his father's alma mater? Doggone it. I should have highlighted that in the story. But anyway, he didn't do well. That's all it is to it. Ohio State. He was at Ohio State. That's actually his father's alma mater. So his grades failed and he became ineligible. So he had to leave there and go to the community college. That's my point. Why would you tweet something like that about somebody? He said, I played with him. Horrible person and would be a complete cancer to any team on the board.
And you just gotta let the teams in the draft and find that out for himself, even though it would be bad. But, folks, we're gonna keep on that a little bit later on. We're gonna take a break right here at SIBN Sports.
We're gonna take a break in a minute, but listen, I'm tell you something. I am amazed at this story just because I can't believe he posted that.
It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, right?
Seriously, who does that? So now you're gonna try to prevent. Work ethic has always been an issue from what I read, but he's played well. He's and again, this is one of those stories that makes me a little nervous and suspect because his father did well, and his father, Chris will be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in August. Okay, so maybe he felt like he had a right or something. Maybe.
No, right.
I'm just saying, some kids feel privileged. So anyway, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break now. Sorry, I know y'all are like, okay, I thought you was taking a break a minute ago. We were, but we are now. So hold on to your seats. We're coming back with more of your hot topics in sports with SIBN Sports.
SIBN.
You're listening to radio. We'll be right back in a moment.
It's always been a part of me to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Whether on my block or around the world. My name is First Lieutenant King, and I move toward the sounds of those who are in need of help.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Entry invalid.
Mode. Mode. 5 seconds.
The Windows Phone 8X by HTC on Verizon. It features easy-to-navigate live tiles that are simple to customize. Just pin what matters most right to your home screen. Exclusively with DataSense, a feature that makes the most of your plan. Only on Verizon.
Oh, hey, Mike. Where do you have to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm, more mobile than ever. Get to a better state.
Aaron, I was able to save you hundreds.
Yeah, discount, double check, I know. I'm kind of over that move.
So are we.
What?
It's a little, soft.
No, it isn't.
It is.
They wanted something with a little,
Like what?
Do it with me. Ready? Discount, double check.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying.
Right?
Matthews.
What's up, dude?
He plays football professionally.
Hey, Ratches! Move! Matthews! You can save big with a discount double check, only from State Farm.
We interrupt this program to simply say thank you for your listenership here on SIBN Radio. We do not take what you're giving to us for granted. By all means, we invite you to be a part of our family in a deeper way. You can visit our websites, www.sibntelevision.com. You'll see a community page at the top there, and you can join free of charge with your email and share your thoughts, pictures, and so much more right there on the site. And for those of you that would like to listen more regularly to our block programming, you can visit www.sibnradio-by-SelectUSATV.com. We're now looking for interns for the SIBN networks, and there is no shortage of work that needs to be done. Simply email us your bio or resume to globalcoverage@selectusatv.info. New programming is always a consideration here at the networks, and we invite you to share your ideas, concepts, or vision. As we move forward with a global multimedia platform, we expect great things. We now want to return you to your regularly scheduled program. And again, from our hearts to yours, thank you.
All right, y'all. We're back at the desk again. We're excited. You know, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to keep on talking about this football a little bit. There was a story about Gino in the paper, and it talked about racial bias bills hurdle for Smith. You know, there was a lot of talk about Cameron when he came out, Cam Newton, when he came to play, and also RG3. Things were being said about them. And now they're talking about the work ethic of Geno Smith and how he's not like the best choice. And there was a journalist, I guess, who had made some comments about him. He said about the habits of the top-rated passer in the NFL draft. And the commentator was like, it just made him shake his head, you know. And that's the same thing goes back to the guy, they saying something about the young man. Remember I was telling you, you know, we were talking about just a few minutes ago what the ex-coach said about this young man's work ethic, and he's a whiny and all this stuff. You know, some things just are not on the table where you can talk about a person's character. Because to me, that's something that goes without saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like not something you need to have to talk about for it to be a conversation. Meaning, if there's a character issue or a person that's not performing up to the level that they should, it'll be seen.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So anyway, I don't think that should have any bearings at all. We shouldn't even be talking about race at this point. Why is it a big deal about Cam Newton? Why is it a big deal about RG3? Why is it a big deal about Geno Smith? These guys have paid their dues. Cam Newton has already come into the league playing very well. He's the future of the NFL, along with RG3. Okay, so
that goes without saying.
Look, say what you will. Moving on.
Say what you won't. Do what you please.
I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that, but it's just sometimes they say stuff and you just be like, "What? Why does this have anything to do with race?" Let's talk about the Jets. You know, the Jets hadn't been doing too well.
Bro.
They've lost a lot of people. They've moved a lot of people around. You know, they still confused about what role that boy gonna play. What's that quarterback name?
Marca.
No. That other guy, the third string now. He's become the third string. He went from second string to third string.
Oh, it did?
Isn't
that Timothy Tebow fella?
Tebow.
He gone.
They finally let him go, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
They got too much going on at the Jets. So anyway, how about they got another problem? Darrelle Revis, who tore his left anterior cruciate ligament during a game against the Dolphins. I know it's the ACL. I like to say the whole thing. On September the 23rd, he required a season-ending surgery. Well, that meant nothing. Okay? He left them, went to the Bucs, and received $96 million over 6 years.
Yeah.
And the Jets didn't want him to leave. But as you can see, they couldn't keep him. But they acquired the 13th overall pick in the draft, along with a 4th rounder next year. that converts to a third rounder if Ravens is on the Bucs roster 3 days into the 2014 league year. So I don't know if that's bad or good for them. It definitely can't be good because, I mean, if he left them and got a $96 million contract, which he will get, he doesn't have a guarantee. He just gets. Okay. I don't think he's mad at anybody. He just needs to stay healthy. $16 million a year will keep me healthy. What about you?
You know, everyone can live off that. Are you crazy? I can't imagine what I wouldn't do.
Look, if I never get the whole $96 million, I'm saying
at least $1 million will do something.
$16 million is not gonna make me mad.
$5 million won't make me mad. $1 million won't make me mad. I would like $100,000.
You can't say that, Matthew.
I know they don't. The minimum is $1 million, but everybody can live off of that. I mean, the cost of living ain't really, depending on where you are, the cost of living ain't that bad unless you don't go and get like a fancy mansion or something like that.
Fancy.
Sure.
Get all fancy.
I get an apartment all today.
That 2013 NFL schedule is out. Week 1,
really?
The Baltimore Ravens at Denver Broncos, baby.
So the Super Bowl champs are gonna. The Super Bowl champs are
Baltimore Ravens playing look, the contenders. You got me? The contenders, Denver Broncos. It's gonna say a lot about how this season gonna go.
Oh, Peyton, where art thou?
This ain't the same Baltimore Ravens that won the championship. You understand? You heard me?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have Ray Lewis anymore.
They don't.
You know, a few changes here and there, but they're. What happens if they get Alec Ogletree to replace that? Is that possible?
To get who?
Alec Ogletree.
To replace who?
To put him out there on the defense. Could be possible.
Hey.
Or, you know, what I feel. What would you feel more? To go for somebody who can play in the linebacker position, or have somebody out there in the secondaries? Where is the area where they're needed? Where's the area where defense is needed more? Because
I mean, with the absence of Ray Lewis, you know, I think it's more up front, don't you?
It could be. It could be.
I would say yes to that.
Your fellas Terrell Suggs and Donnell Ellerbe, and Ed Reed right there in the backfield. You know, those. Now with Baltimore losing the small pieces that gave them the motivational ride that they need, where's their area of concern? What do you feel?
Oh, definitely in that key position where Baltimore Ravens star was, Ray Lewis. That's going to hurt them bad because they also lost, what's his name, that played with Ray Lewis as well alongside him. He actually left as well. Went inside a huge contract with someone else. Huge contract. I'm like, huge contract. When you on a championship team, everybody's looking at you. You know that.
It blows up.
Oh, of course.
It happens with everybody.
So the whole team has blown up. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens to the Ravens this year. So their first game is going to be against the Denver Broncos. That should be pretty exciting. The Falcons' first game, September the 8th, at New Orleans Saints. September the 15th, St. Louis Rams comes to Atlanta. The 22nd, at Miami Dolphins. And on the 29th, New England Patriots will come to the Dome. What do you think about that?
Pretty cool to me.
Pretty cool lineup for the first 5 games, huh? Mm-hmm. Let's go Falcons. That's all I can say. We're going to get the chance to look at playing against the Saints the first game.
If we're ready to win a Super Bowl.
We're going to see what kind of team they have put together. Really, seriously. If they have made, you know, put the people in key places, especially for our defense, to get us to where we need to go. So that is going to be exciting. Now let's look at the Dallas Cowboys. Their first game is going to be against the New York Giants in Dallas. Then they're going to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. That's going to be a big game. Mm-hmm. Big game. Can't wait to see that one. You got St. Louis Rams in Dallas. And then Dallas goes to San Diego Chargers. And then Denver Broncos will go to Dallas. I can't wait to see that game. I'm telling you, Manny,
America's team, my foot.
Peyton Manning, I'm just going to tell you, I'm watching Peyton Manning this year. seriously watching him. Big time. Watching Peyton Manning to see what he does this year. I really am excited to watch. When you have the greatness like that, you get excited about watching them play. You don't care what team they play for. I know people that followed him from the Colts. Mm-hmm. So they're now fans of Denver Broncos because of him.
Sometimes it gets me when people do that.
I'm telling you, they left the Colts to go follow him because they love him so much. People did that with Michael Vick.
And people do that in the NBA
People
too.
left the Falcons to go follow Michael Vick for Philadelphia. They became Philadelphia fans.
And I don't know why. Because when he was in Atlanta, nobody liked Atlanta. They just liked Vick. But then now they're an Eagles fan. Like,
it's not bad though that they only liked Vick and they didn't like the team.
I mean, that's okay, I guess.
But I'm just saying, what does that say about our team if they only like Vick? That's like saying if people only like Matt Ryan and then we lose him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll follow him wherever he goes, right? He said, where are the true Atlanta fans?
Where are the true Atlanta fans?
We're going in. We're going in. We're going in. All right, so y'all, let me tell you something. Y'all ready for the NBA?
NBA playoffs are underway, folks.
Let me tell you something. The NBA playoffs, they going in hard in the paint. And that's for real.
Except for Atlanta.
Now, let's talk about the first one I want to talk about. And none other than Houston and Oklahoma.
2-0. Hey, the Thunder are leading 2-0 in that series.
All I got to say is the Rockets have met the Thunder.
I think so. That rocket might be coming back down.
All I got to say is the Rocket has met the Thunder.
It's been struck, and it's on its way back down to the ground.
That noise will wear you out. Oklahoma is playing real hard against Houston.
Yeah. Because Kevin Durant even said, I've been second my whole life. He ain't letting that happen today. Or this time. So I would like to see the young man. I'd like to see them make it back to the finals. Now, with San Antonio, if they can manage to stay healthy throughout the playoffs, they're going to be a big contender in the Western Conference Finals. Manu Ginobili doing work against Los Angeles.
Doing what?
Doing work against Los Angeles.
So what's going on with speaking of the Lakers? How about Kobe Bryant from wherever he is? I don't know if he's in a hospital bed or if he's at home. Tweeting the whole time, get inside. Come on, we got to get inside. Okay, why are you tweeting?
Why are you not on the bench?
Doing the game, and you're not even there. But it's not even like it's good tweets where he's supporting his team. Good job, guys. Come on, we can do this. Get inside. We need to get inside. He's coaching on Twitter.
No bueno.
So they
can see that.
So they're
going to look up at the Jumbotron and say, oh, there go Kobe.
So
all right.
Dan and Tony, they said, how do you feel about Kobe coaching from Twitter? Well, he's a fan. He called Kobe a fan. He said, well, he's a very important fan. Everybody was like, huh?
I think they don't get. I think they kind of misunderstood that. They're saying that like he's their biggest fan right now because he wants them to win.
He's not playing, but come on.
He said he's their biggest fan because he wants them to win, and he's not there. However,
is that what he's saying?
I have had.
So he said Kobe can do. That's fine if Kobe wants to tweet.
I've had times where guys that are hurt aren't even in rehab, and they don't even show up to their team's basketball games. They're hurt. They're not on the bench, not supporting nobody. They're just be wherever they want to be.
Hey, listen, y'all. We want to continue to talk about the NBA because we're excited about the playoffs. We're gonna get a little deeper because we want to talk about who's gonna win this thing, y'all. Who in it to win it?
The Hawks.
That's what I want to know. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come right back with more in a moment.
We'll be right back.
There is no greater place where you can improve your life right here and right now than on SIBN television and radio networks. Hi, my name is Marcus Sillett, and this is your technology update. For those of you that would like to join our community, please visit www.sibntelevision.com. And above there in the tabs, you'll see Community. Click on that and you will be there. But you must register with an email, and of course, it's free of charge. Once you register, you can then begin to share in the SIBN television and radio family, posting your links, pictures, and so much more. Again, thank you in advance for following us, sharing, and of course, by all means, listening. This has been your technology update. My name is Marcus Salette, aka the Coach.
You're listening to the sounds of SIBN FM Radio. Find us on Facebook at Select USA TV, Twitter at Select USA TV, and like us anywhere SIBN Television and Radio is found.
Now is the time to have your business online with the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. That's right, SIBN or Select USA TV will produce your video on the spot. Picture business videos, on-location streaming videos, or on-location production videos. Dial 678-830-3118 or call the office at 404-910-5019 Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now is the time to have your business online with SIBN. The Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network now offers picture videos, on-location streaming videos, and on-location production videos for your event calls, brand, or mission. Call today, 678-830-3118 or 404-910-5019.
All right. So we're back, y'all. The first round of the playoffs is on, and it is popping.
Sorta.
It's hot for real.
Sorta.
So, why you say sorta?
Because Atlanta's not doing a good job right now. But you're all right. The playoffs are nice.
Okay, so far, Atlanta and Indiana, and it's going in Indiana's direction.
I ain't never heard of them before.
Let's talk about the Eastern Conference. You got the Miami over Milwaukee. This should be just a quick blowout right away, 3 games. You know what I'm saying?
4. You think Milwaukee's going to go 5 games with Miami?
No, I said this is going to be a quick 3 games.
They got to win 4.
They got to win 4. In the first, I thought it was 6, and then the best out of...
You're thinking about like 1980.
The best out of 6. The best out of 6.
Best out of 7.
They got to win 4. I thought that was in the second round.
No, that's 4. Yeah, that's 4. That's best of 7. All 3 rounds.
Anyway, that's where we are right now, y'all. So, game 1, Miami 110-87 over Milwaukee. Game 2, Miami 98-86. I mean, these are just not close, anywhere close to being close games. So then they're going to go to Milwaukee, and then they will be at Milwaukee again. So after these 2 games, you got 2 games in Milwaukee, so they'll have to go and beat Milwaukee at home. Should not be a problem for Miami. Then you got New York over Boston, 2-0.
Yep, Boston strong, but hey, I don't know what to say for you guys.
They're not Boston strong, right?
They are Boston strong,
They're not Boston strong yet. New York 85, Boston 78 in the first game. Second game, New York 87, Boston 71. Listen, Atlanta, Indiana is up over Atlanta right now. Brooklyn and Chicago. Brooklyn is playing very well. Oklahoma 2 games up on Houston right now. San Antonio Lakers, you know what the deal is there. The Lakers are not looking good at all. Denver, Golden State, LA Clippers over Memphis. So we're going to be watching the playoffs. We're going to continue to take a good look. Now listen, before we go, we're going to take a quick detour over to the Mike Brown situation. The Cavaliers have rehired Mike Brown as their coach. What does that say about LeBron coming back to Cleveland 2014? We want to know what you think. Check us out on the fan page, SIBN Sports.fan page. And we can't wait to hear what you think. This is your girl, Clara V, on none other than your SIBN Sports. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Matthew?
Bye, everybody.
Once again, I'm Matthew Bogues, and this is SIBN Sports.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network.